Hey guys, this is Sadi and welcome back to Comic Space, and today we have quite a major insight about the upcoming Avengers Doomsday, and the countdown for Doomsday have officially begun, I would say, with the last 3 theatrical projects left in the Phase 5. Today we have quite a major update about Marvel Studios casting a secret role, that is that for now, and that major character is going to be major part of Secret Wars moving forward as well. And another thing that we are going to talk about, as it seems like Marvel Studios haven't actually scrapped all of their plans that they had for Avengers Kang Dynasty, but they are actually overhauling them into Avengers Doomsday. So what is that all about? What is the whole Kang situation still? Of course, a major character introduction that Marvel Studios is looking for. So we have a lot to talk about and a lot to break it down. So our first update is coming from Daniel RPK, and again, if you have been following our channel or have been part of the rumor mill, you know that we like to give Daniel RPK a lot more reverence than any other source, as he also have quite an impeccable track record as well. As he went on to state, for Avengers Doomsday, Marvel is casting for a secret role in well-known Marvel character that is also going to be a major part of Avengers Secret Wars as well. So I think another thing that we need to talk about before we actually start to break it down, in the recent time Marvel Studios and Kevin Feige has been doing a lot of presentation at D23 at Comic Con and of course D23 Brazil, and we also have a major insight about what Kevin Feige had to say about the X-Men coming into the MCU. The whole story of Secret Wars really leads us into the new age of mutants with some of the X-Men players that you might recognize. So the reason I'm talking about this statement is just to give the context to the topic that we are talking about, because since that update has broken up, a lot of speculation has been made about what that secret role and that secret character that might be, which is a well-known Marvel character. So again, of course, I think the first thing first in everybody's mind has to be the Beyond Us. Even mine, I was like, is Marvel Studio really going to follow up to the story of the Beyond Us? Are they actually going to be introducing the Beyond Us with Secret Wars? They already have Doctor Doom, which again there was a lot of thing had to go into it to Marvel Studios finally make that decision and to bring Doctor Doom into Secret Wars and to actually return of Kang. So I believe Marvel Studios is not going to do Beyond Us and the character such that, because again in the comics you do have a lot of time in compared to what you can do in the theatrical projects. You do have a lot of time and you also do have a lot of issues where you can actually went out to introduce a lot of stuff and a lot of elements, as they don't have too many projects to go on and majorly they only have 2 Avengers films. Of course they can focus on some aspect of the story in some other projects such as Spider-Man 4 that we have talked about and Doctor Strange 3, but they majorly have only 2 films and they have a lot of characters and a lot of storyline and a lot of elements to juggle with. And of course their main focus is going to be Doctor Doom, who haven't got much development in compared to what we have seen with Kang. When they are going to have a lot of things going on, I don't think so. I think just adding Beyond Us into the story for the sake of it, and if you are not really going to handle it well, or if it's actually not going to be blending with the story, or if you are just going to be having a 5-minute sequence with Beyond Us and not really being able to actually capitalize on such a major characters from the comics, so you just might don't want to do that. And the fact that we also talk about Kevin Feige's statement early on, that secret role I think possibly also can be leading up to an X-Men appearance who becomes in such a pivotal point in the story. In the multiverse sense, right now we in the What If series we have Captain Carter, who have become in such a major part in the story of the multiverse saga, which we also believe she is actually going to be part of the live action Secret Wars coming into the live action forum, with of course Ellie Atwell coming back to play that role as well. So that character, even though that is a complete different thing and it is Marvel animation, but again Marvel Studios just haven't been building that character on the other side of the multiverse saga because they weren't gonna go anywhere, but they were actually going to be making that character such a pivotal part when we actually head into Secret Wars, which again the X-Men appearance and the X-Men and the Avengers coming back together, that is going to happen whatsoever with of course the universe that Monica is stuck in right now, which we believe it is going to be introducing the majority of X-Men that we are going to be seeing in Secret Wars and in Avengers Doomsday. So again, I think in major pivotal character, I don't think so Marvel Studios is, when you're talking about secret role, I really am not counting on in such a major character or in celestial level character to have a kind of a realistic lookout for what character actually can be able to make a major appearance and to actually pivot in story in a major way. With of course even until right now Marvel Studios really haven't been able to kind of majorly capitalize on the fact that they have X-Men to themselves. They can use X-Men, of course they are starting to do it with X-Men 97 and even with What If Season 3 in the animation forum, but in the live action we still haven't majorly seen X-Men being part of the story, and which we will eventually see leading up to Avengers Secret Wars. And in Doomsday, that secret character, whatever it might end up being, it is probably going to be end up being in X-Men or Red Mutant and becoming quite a vital part in the story. Again, in terms of Beyond Us, it looks like Loki have taken that role, when in the comics Doctor Doom had to taken out the Beyond Us to absorb their powers and to become the God Emperor Doctor Doom. And of course, I think that role has been taken up by Loki, and of course the throne that Loki sits on, it is exactly the shape of that the throne of Doctor Doom sits on in the comic Secret Wars storyline, with of course in the shape of the World Tree. So of course we have a lot of things going on for both of the Avengers film. And another thing that I would like to talk about is, it seems like Marvel Studios haven't actually scrapped the whole Kang Dynasty storyline. They are actually drawing some elements from that original storyline and brought them into the Avengers Doomsday storyline, as they are bringing the elements from Avengers Kang Dynasty to Avengers Secret Wars and Avengers Doomsday. As our next update is coming from Cryptic 4K Quell, another source that we have started to cover frequently on the channel, as he went on to state, I imagine the stuff from Avengers Kang Dynasty was carried over to Avengers Doomsday. With every hero team being out there, they were going to be coming together and focusing on certain tasks to have their saving chances until everything flips out, as we are going to be seeing 4 to 5 heroes teams, including the reformed Avengers. So here's the thing, when Avengers Kang Dynasty was officially scrapped out, we did do a full breakdown of what Avengers Kang Dynasty could have been and that potential storyline that we could probably have seen with Kang. And in that time we also talked about that Marvel Studios was looking forward to introducing bunch of heroes team and a lot of characters across the multiverse that were going to be coming together, and they were going to having fight every variant of Kang across the multiverse, or at least 4 or 5 major variants of Kang that we were going to see moving forward in Kang Dynasty. And of course that would have been a major setup from the Ant-Man the Wasp QUNTAMMANIA post-credit scene, and of course that was a setup for this storyline that Marvel Studios was going to be moving forward with, introducing bunch of Kang variants and introducing bunch of Avengers or the X-Men teams across the multiverse going up against one or the other variant, and until the very end where everything flips out, where we would have the major and the main variant of Kang taking over and building his battle world. I kinda imagine how that would have gone on, and as it looks like that actually might be the core of the story still. These some elements can be drawn on with some adjustment to those elements, some story points from the Avengers Kang Dynasty of course, but Avengers Doomsday has been gone through a complete overhaul whatsoever. To remind you that they have of course a new director pair, they of course have a completely new writer handling the script, and of course Marvel Studios is going to keep making changes to the script. And how they're actually going to be moved forward with Secret Wars, the core story, I think the elements, I think the original plan even Marvel Studios had back in when they were planning Avengers Kang Dynasty, I think it can be pretty much the same, and I think we can just see and follow up to that kind of storyline with of course Kang being written out and Kang Dynasty being written out, of course Doctor Doom coming out on top as we are heading into the last leg of the phase 5, and then we will have an official countdown started from the Fantastic Four leading up to Avengers Doomsday and of course Secret Wars. So again, I think it is time for me to see you guys off on this one. I'm so glad that you guys got the time to hear me out. Thanks for listening to me. This is your host Adi signing off. See you in the next one.